Hi. So in this video we'll talk about the differences between porous and non-porous materials. We'll also be discussing about the sensitivity. So for your convenience, I have divided this video in 4 different segments. So let's talk about the segment number 1, the definition. So how would you define a porous material? A porous material is any material that 100% allows the passing of any sort of fluid like liquids or oil or even gas. Some of the examples of porous materials would be sponge, fabric, and even wood. Now, the reason why wood is considered to be a porous material is because it consists of interconnected pores or voids that allows the passing of water. For example, if you were to splash water on the one side of the wood, after a couple of while you will realize that water will start to drip from the other side. Now let's talk about the non-porous materials. Non-porous materials, unlike the previous one, it has no such thing as interconnected holes or voids. And the reason is the atoms present in non-porous materials are closely packed with each other. Non-porous materials has zero permeability. Some of the examples of non-porous materials would be glass, a metal cup, or even polythene bags like this, and even ceramics. Now that we've understood the fundamental differences between porous and non-porous materials, now it's really important that we understand why do we study about porous and non-porous materials in the first place? Why do we need to gain knowledge in this field? Let me tell you that the knowledge of porous and non-porous materials is not just relevant in the field of chemistry or engineering. It is also relevant in real life, in practical physical life. Now, I'm going to give you an example. If you were to wash your car or wash the dishes, what is the one material that you use? Exactly, a sponge, like this. And the reason why people use sponge is because it consists of interconnected holes and pores inside the material, which allows the easy soaking of water and detergent, and that in turn allows you to easily wipe or clean any sort of surfaces. Now let me give you another example. If you were to drink water, so what is the one material that you normally use to drink water? Exactly, glass, like this, or even it could be a bottle like this. And the reason why you use glass or plastic bottles is because the atoms of these materials are closely packed, which does not allow water to get leaked. So this is all about the porous and non-porous materials. And so now that we're done with the first segment, now let's move on to the second, which is the properties of porous materials. The main properties of porous materials are density and porosity. An increase in porosity results in enhanced specific properties like gas permeability and absorption. Porosity typically ranges between 0.2 to 0.95. Now, properties of non-porous materials. As mentioned earlier, non-porous materials has zero permeability because there is no such thing as interconnected holes or pores. Now that we're done with the properties of both porous and non-porous materials, now let's move on to the segment number 3, which is the applications. Applications of porous materials. Synthetic membrane. Now, synthetic membranes I beg your pardon, applications of non-porous materials. Synthetic membrane. Synthetic membrane like rubber are often used in roofing purposes and moisture barrier. Non-porous membrane are often used in RO, filtration process in water treatment plants. One of the most common example of non-porous materials that I can share with you right now is the use of tiles. During the monsoon season, you must have seen that so many houses and so many buildings get destroyed because of the water seepage as well as leakage. So in order to prevent that, a lot of people, what they do is that they use ceramic tiles, something like this. They use tiles on the floors, on the floor as well as the walls. And the reason why they do that is because ceramic is because tiles is a ceramic, and ceramic is a non-porous material, and it often helps to prevent water from getting seepaged inside the buildings. So this was all about the application of non-porous material. Now let's talk about the applications of porous materials. Porous materials, due to their properties, they are widely used in the field of biomedical applications. Because biomedical application requires a 3D porous network coupled with good mechanical properties. Some of the examples would be prostheses, tissue engineering, and porous materials are also used in insulation purposes. In many residential and commercial buildings, people use something called cellulose or even natural fibers, because these are very good insulators. They allow air to pass through. So now that we're done with all the segments, now let's talk about the final part, which is the sensitivity of any measuring device. So sensitivity is nothing but it is the ratio of the changes in output of any instrument to the change in the value of the quantity being measured. In simple terms, the smallest change in the input signal that can cause the measuring device to respond is called the sensitivity. Thank you so much. I hope the video was helpful.